Hi, so in this example, we're actually going to be given area of a portion of a normal distribution curve and find the z-score that corresponds to it. So if I drew a line here where the area shaded ends, it's about here. And we're going to find the z-score that corresponds to it. Now, the only thing that we're used to is we're usually given a z-score and we find area. In this case, they're giving us the area and we have to work our way backwards. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this. The first way is we can use the table. And so if we use the table, then we're given, remember, area from the mean. And this means that from the area from the mean, we have to go ahead and dig, so here's the area from the mean. So we're given this area from the mean. And so we have to go ahead and search through these table of values in here and find a corresponding z-score, which would be the top row or first column. So the only issue is we don't have area from the mean, right? Because here's the mean. We have area completely to the left of this z-score. So if I drew like a, let's say yellow line here, there we go. We know that this lower half of the curve from the mean, right, is 50%, right? Or this area is 0.5. Just like this top half, right, is also 50%, and this area is also a half, right, because the total area is 1. So I already know that this bottom half is a half, and I could get this area from the mean, right, from the table. So all I need is this area. I can look it up in the table, find a corresponding z-score. So the only work we're going to have here is to actually find the area. But I do know a few things. I do know that they gave me that the area from the z-score to the left, that area is 0.65. So if the area from the left to the left of the z-score is 0.65 and the area to the left of the mean is 0.5, I could just subtract these two. The bigger area minus the smaller area would give me this middle area. And that would be the area. And then once I get that, I can just look on the table and get a z-score really quickly. So let me write this down. So you need to find area from the mean. And then the last part would be to look up z-score from the table. Okay, so let's do that. So the first step we want to do is find the area from the mean. And that would just be, so that would just be the table value that we're going to look is going to be equal to the bigger area of 0.65 and subtract the lower half area, which is 0.5. And if we do that, we get a table value of 0.15. So now what I need to do is look up the table value 0.15 and find the corresponding z-score. And so let's go ahead and go to the table of values and find the area find the area that's closest to 0.15. So if I just like go randomly here, I see 0.40. So I'm like, oh, whoa, that's like way too big. So let me go up here. I see 0.9, 0.10, and sure enough, I see 0.17, 0.148, and then I see 0.15, which is what I need, and then some change. And this corresponds, if I look at the top row, that's 0.09, and if I scroll all the way to the left, it's 0.3. So the z-score that corresponds to 0.1573 is 0.39. So the z-score is equal to 0.39. Another way I could write it is saying that the probability of a z-score less than some value c is equal to the 0.65, where c is equal to 0.39. So you may see it either way, but essentially you're just finding a z-score that corresponds to a certain area. Now, the other way that you could do it is the calculator. And if you go into the calculator, what you're going to end up doing is going to second vars, which gives you the distribution, and using the inv norm function. And what the inv norm does is works its way backwards. It says, give me an area, and then I'll give you the z-score. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that. So now I can go to second and vars, which gives me the distribution, and go to inv norm. So we'll hit 3. And so go ahead and put the area that's just right on the paper, 0.65. Leave the mean and the standard deviation 0, 1, and just put where the area is. Is the area to the right of the z-score, in between z-scores, or to the left of the z-scores? And we have area to the left, and then go ahead and paste and paste. And then we can see that the the z-score is 0.3, rounding to 2 decimal places, 39, which is the same thing that we got. So we could either use the table of values and find that area from the mean, look it up, and then find the z-score, or we can use the calculator, the inv norm function, and we get the same results. It's just up to you which method you'd want to use.